Well, first of all, thank you for calling me an impartial observer of the Raptors. That makes me feel a little bit better when I'm cheering at home, watching this team on my computer because they've been so much fun to watch with Koloko out there. I
Mm,
mean, uh, the way that he basically disrespected Patrick Williams last night, 3 blocks in a 2-minute span. One of those blocks, the first block, I mean, that was just unreal, the amount of distance that he traveled to basically stuff Patrick Williams a foot away from the rim. As far as, getting back to your question though, like some of the underlying statistics that I researched, that were super impressive to me, the Raptors defense when Koloko is on the floor, I mean, they've been playing better than the number 1 defense in the league. So
wow.
that's the first point. Second point is, I mean, his rim protection is obviously the biggest thing he's bringing with this 7'5" wingspan. Opponents are shooting, I think it's like 53% somewhere around there at the rim with him guarding those shots, which is, I mean, that would be among the league leaders if that holds up. So yeah, he's just been amazing. Anytime anybody tries to challenge him there.
Yeah, and we definitely saw a lot of that yesterday, especially that first block, as you mentioned, because the Raptors' strategy defensively from Nick Nurse was just we're going to trap DeMar DeRozan. We'll trap him above the 3-point arc, even though obviously DeMar's not looking to pull up from the 3-point arc, but we're basically just going to force him to get rid of the ball. But what that does is that you got to play 4-on-3 behind the ball. So you need your guys to be able to rotate. And more importantly, you need somebody to be able to go from the 3-point line, trapping there to help at the basket for the block. So, it is really special. And I think with Christian, are you a little bit surprised that he's able to have this immediate of an impact, right? Because I think for a lot of people thinking about it, it's a second round pick. Bigs take a while to develop. These are sort of common tropes that you hear all the time about young players, but for some reason it seems like he's able to come in and not just like be able to fit in and collect blocks by, standing at the basket and playing a specific kind of drop coverage or anything like that. But seems like he actually has a really good awareness and timing for when to go for these challenges. And he's having an effect to the point where Nick has started him in 5 of the Raptors' first 10 games here.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, I'm not a big draft guy, so I didn't watch much of him at Arizona, but his counterpart, Dalen Terry, who the
Mm,
Bulls took, Dalen hasn't seen much of the floor. He got a little bit of playing time last night against the Raptors, and reporters asked Bulls coach Billy Donovan about that appearance, and Donovan was extremely lukewarm. He said, he played okay, but he missed a lot of rotations, and that's what rookies do. And I
mm.
say that because, yeah, when I watch Koloko, you would have an expectation that he would basically have no idea what he's doing out there, as Dalen Terry has kind of had that experience. But like you mentioned, he seems to be mostly in the right spot at the right time. Amazing given that he didn't start playing basketball, I believe, until he was 15 and not seriously until he was 17.
Yep.
But he just has such great tools. I mean, these we've seen a lot of these guys who started out at a very young age playing soccer. They're able to move their feet so well. So even if Koloko's not in the exact perfect position, he's just able to recover so quickly. That's something that you can't teach, and I think that's what has this Raptors coaching staff so excited for him and why he's earning minutes, which was again, like you said, just very surprising development.
Yeah, no doubt. And one thing you've also put out in your piece is that the Raptors are able to play Koloko and get more size on the floor, obviously, but they're not actually sacrificing some of the sort of signature versatility that you sort of come to expect from the Raptors defense. Can you sort of go in a little bit more about what's allowing the Raptors to go bigger without having to sacrifice you know mobility or versatility?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when you get these 7-footers, a lot of them are stiffs. Like you try to get them out on the perimeter. I mean, the Bulls are a good example with Nikola Vucevic. Like he's okay. He's probably better than his reputation suggests at
Mm,
going out there. But if you put him against a guard, I mean, you're gonna have to send help. Koloko, he's switched a lot onto faster perimeter players, and he's done a pretty good job of that. And yeah, the Raptors defense is just totally totally crazy under Nick Nurse. I don't know if you guys saw this viral tweet that was going around a couple days ago, but they played at least 11 different kinds of
oh yeah,
coverages
against
against Luka
Luca.
Doncic the other
Yep.
night. And you guys were talking about the job that they did on DeMar. I mean, DeMar's been fantastic this season. He's had a bunch of huge scoring games. He had a 40 plus point game a couple games ago before this, and the Raptors shut him down. They were doing a lot of different coverages. You all mentioned that, they were sending some hard doubles at him. They're also doing a box and one against him at times, which, has been kind of a Raptor specialty. But
Mhm.
the Bulls don't see those kinds of things. I mean, DeRozan gets doubled a lot. He's I just checked the stat today. He has the sixth most possessions where he's double teamed. Again, that's a great strategy for the Raptors because the Bulls are only scoring 96 points per 100 possessions, which is a terrible number. So expect to see that again tonight.
Mm.
But yeah, just that ability to throw different looks at these superstars because they're so good. You need to keep them on their toes. Koloko is able to do that where, you get some of these other huge guys with huge wingspans, like a Mo Bamba or something like that. And you just can't do that same kind of thing.
Mhm. Yeah, well, there's a portability I think to his skill set where you're able to sort of use him across different defensive matchups, and it's been interesting because a lot of times, like if you play a rookie this much early, you do have to sort of accommodate him defensively. It doesn't really feel like the Raptors trying to hide Koloko that much. They're not like worried about him getting on specific matchups. They're just essentially asking him to execute the defensive scheme. And to be honest, outside of fouling, there's no actual issues with how he's playing defense.